When I was 10, I was the fat kid with glasses and crooked teeth, and I could ride ponies, read novels, and play the cello. None of these talents makes you popular in middle school, so 2 years later, I found myself having as much fun mocking the girl who wore horse-themed t-shirts to school as I once had picking them out. I was brutal. In 4 years, I transformed sandals to high heels and 6 feet of hair to 2 with unabashed cruelty towards the friends I used to look like, who still thank me for the loss of their virginities like I was the one who held them down. And sometimes, with nobody watching, I would pull my instrument to my chest like a long-lost child and play Messiah. My favorite piece was called Quintet for the End of Time, and all the emo kids in the world could not have matched the fervor with which I played. I played like I knew enough about time to understand its absence. I played everything but Bach. He seemed like a pedantic school teacher full of steady beats and mindless repetitions. To me, the variation was just too predictable. I never liked remixes much anyway, and how many times can you elaborate on a theme I didn't understand until I lost my father? He is not dead. I lost him years ago. Him 70, me 14. We tried to bridge the gap with circling steps and cautious advances, but when his hands were stung by the open palms of my adolescence, he slowly stopped reaching. For me, and for the distant truth of my mother who had grown into a tree when he thought he married a sapling, he found another woman. And I slipped into the shadow of his new daughter, whose embarrassed tears at his insistence at cheering for her soccer games were the same salt that fell when he never came to any of mine. I lost him the first time I swore at dinner, and the last time I saw him. Long-sleeved and quiet, I knew that I could tell him, yes, I am happy, but I could not tell him why. I wanted to say that I loved how we used to dance, and all I really want from him is the story he made up for me in Rome, where I was wandering through the catacombs of the great cathedral. Maybe if I heard it again, I would stop searching for him in the stones. These are the variations of my father. How he sang like the air was on fire and his throat was music. How he could imitate Elmo from Sesame Street perfectly before mocking an effeminate voice to its owner's face. How I loved him like you can love the ground when you're falling from the sky. Like I would be willing to destroy myself if only to have him closer to me. He was my theme. And sometimes, when nobody is watching, I pull my cello to my chest like it was him, and when I play Bach, the notes spill out into 1,000 repetitions of the way we could have made our history better, like coming home to the burned foundation of the house you grew up in and lying in the ashes. I play for the lost infinity of my father, and I understand. And maybe that is the one thing I could do that would make him proud.